couple days because it's going to be sky high. When it catches you off guard is when it is cooler.
Yeah.
Because when it's hot, you think, I'm going to be outside, I'm going to put it on. But I'm telling you what, these cool, dry days are when the UV index is highest because there's less moisture in the atmosphere, so the UV is really more intense. So just something to keep an eye on, especially if you're out and about. This will be a weekend, especially going into the weekend, where we're going to have some perfectly sunny skies until about Sunday. And that dry air is going to set the stage for those high UV index values. You can see sunny, gorgeous days ahead. Already have it in my impacts here. Use the sunscreen and be prepared for some cool mornings and evenings. Pretty good fire pit weather, honestly, for Memorial Day weekend. So now that the drought's over, the burn bans are out of the way, probably a pretty good weekend to get those fired up as well. Speaking of the UV index, again, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, we're talking 10s or 11s, and that's with highs only in the 70s. Now, the reason it goes down a little bit Sunday, Monday, we're going to see more clouds. You remember, you could still get burned on a cloudy day. There's still plenty of UV coming through, but just remember, the more clouds, a little bit better for the UV index. I would still grab the sunscreen and the hats out there. Temperatures tonight, again, comfortable, upper 50s, low 60s. That's about our normal low. Tomorrow, just a couple degrees, maybe a 1 or 2 above normal of 81, 82. So we'll be in the low 80s. But it will be very dry. These dry cold fronts coming through are going to bring in cooler and lower dew point air. That is the key to this. These dry temperatures, the dry dew point temperatures are going to drive down the overnight lows because when you have clear skies and calm winds, dry air cools down rapidly. It can heat up rapidly as well. So we'll see the overnights quite chilly actually for this time of year. They start to go back up Monday, Tuesday as we see some of that moisture return. Now, something else to keep in mind, light winds, even with cooler temperatures, skeeter meter is going to be high here the next couple of days to at least medium range. We've had some rain, a lot of mosquitoes we hatch. And remember, any standing water in those yards, buckets, whatever, make sure you're dumping those out. We don't want to see breeding grounds for these mosquitoes over the next couple of days. Rainfall wise, it stays dry all the way until Sunday. Now, yes, we have a rain chance Sunday, but it looks really light and likely late in the evening. It's all going to hinge on the speed of the system coming in Monday, Tuesday, but we're certainly going to have the threat for rain at some point at the tail end of the holiday weekend. So when you look at the Coke 600 forecast for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, I don't see any issues at all in the 70s, but Sunday we'll introduce a small chance of rain, 20% right now, and that's later. Remember, this race is an evening race. It is the longest race on the circuit, so it tends to go well into the evening hours. Cooler temperatures, though, to wrap up spring and into early summer now. Temperatures are going to be below average. That means a lot more 70s for the last week of May going into the start of June. Your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast shows that Memorial Day weekend. Again, this is the second earliest Memorial Day you could have. The only time it would be earlier if it was on May 25th. This year on May 26th, 73 degrees, a few pop-up showers, more chances on Tuesday. Let's go 10 days into the future, and we'll go into the end of the month. You can see temperatures staying below our averages up until we get to the 31st when we'll be back into the mid 80s.
All right, Brad, thank you.